Hi, Anushka. So you recently bought a property with us in regional Queensland, and the property is now, it's about going through the different stages, and it's about to be going to be settling soon. So, could you just start from the beginning, like what prompted you to approach me, and why did you approach me in the first place?
Okay. I didn't feel like I had knowledge of how to buy a house or what to look for when looking for an investment property. I also didn't feel confident in knowing where to look. So I've heard from through word of mouth that going through a buyer's agent is someone who has that knowledge of, where to look, what to look for, what to offer for. So I was looking for someone who had that expertise that I didn't feel confident in having.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. And then through working with me, like I know initially you were we were talking about whether you want to buy in Sydney or whether you should buy properties interstate. So could you just describe that process? What was your thought process like, when we sat down and discussed whether we should buy in Sydney or whether we should buy smaller properties, break down that budget and then buy different properties in different areas. What was your thought process like, and did you benefit from that?
Yep. So I think at the beginning, yeah, I was a bit hesitant. I was sort of looking to buy something in Sydney because I was aware that the Sydney market, had already, I guess, exceeded its limitations. So I thought that was my main option. But then after talking to you, I think you sort of opened my eyes to seeing that there are benefits to investing elsewhere. And I think you gave me a clear picture comparing the two. You let me know what the benefits would be if I was to buy in Sydney, but then you also showed me what the benefits were to buying interstate. And I think I could clearly see that interstate looked like the way to go based on what my goals were. So I remember you asking me, like, what is it that I want? Is it that I want a place to live, or is it that I'm looking for something to grow, and am I looking to, build my assets and my wealth? And when I determined that that was my initial goal, that's when we sort of lent towards the interstate property area. And then that's when you were able to give me a clearer picture of what that would look like and how I would benefit more from investing in other states in Australia.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, thanks for that, Anushka. So, what did you find really useful for you, through this service? Like, when buying properties interstate, when I recommended certain areas to you, and then bought in certain suburbs, and did the due diligence around those properties. What did you find really useful to you?
Yep. So I think the whole process was quite helpful. It was quite it was all done step by step. So I think, like you said, we started off by you presented a presentation to me going through all the states. So we were able to look at that and what the pros and cons would be like investing in each state. And then after that, I guess you came to a conclusion of what would be the best option for me. And then once we agreed, you honed in on a few suburbs. You gave me pros and cons again of each suburb and what vacancy rates look like, what the different infrastructure and businesses and other different things that were
Yeah.
happening in each state. So then I was able to, I guess, in each suburb. So then I was able to look at that because you also gave me those PDF documents that allowed me to take my time to also look into that. Then we had another call again where I was able to let you know what my choices were. And then from then on, you started sending me properties. And I think the way that you set it out is quite clear with your due diligence. I have all the information right in front of me, all the things that I may not know I need to find, but also all the things that I may not know how to find. So even I was quite adamant I didn't want it to be in a flood zone or a bushfire zone. So you ensure that that was included in your due diligence. Tenancy rate, sometimes I'd even get sent the rental appraisal so that I knew what it would look like after purchasing the property. And any questions I wanted, that was also answered. Like you'll go and above and beyond to find that information for me as well.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, thank you so much for that feedback, Anushka. And what would you say to someone who is kind of looking to work with me? What would your feedback be to them?
Yep. So I think my feedback would be quite positive. I think if someone's looking for that support and that guidance, I think they can get that from you. I think you're very approachable. You're quite reasonable as well, and you'll give your honest opinion as well, which is, I think, great because I think in the real estate market that can be quite hard to find. So I think you're quite honest in your the way you view things, and you're quite attentive to what the customer wants. You'll never push them to do something that they're not comfortable with. You know what their limitations are, and you'll stick within that. You'll also, even with offers, you'll always ask, is this okay? Are you comfortable with that? And I think when you sense the customer's not, like, you straight away recognize that, and you know that that's the limitation, I think, which is really important. Always happy to answer questions, very prompt with your responses. And I think in this market, I guess that's what you need, someone who's willing to find that information for you really quickly and give you those answers really quickly, I think, which is really beneficial and very helpful.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for that feedback, Anushka. I really appreciate that. So, yeah, so I think I've enjoyed working with you as well, like, buying properties in these different markets. And you were very, receptive to what I was saying. And thank you for cooperating and working together with me. So, best of luck. We've got one more property. So let's go out and get that done as well. Yeah. All right. So thank you so much, Anushka, for this.
Thank you. That's all right.